y'all, this is Mrs. D Math, and we're going to be going over multiplying fractions today. So let's go ahead and get started. So whenever we're multiplying fractions, our first step really is very simple. If we just have a fraction times a fraction, we're going to multiply the numerators, then multiply the denominators, and last we're going to simplify or reduce it. So let's do a couple of easy problems here. So first, when we say multiply numerators, we're just going to multiply straight across the top. 2 times 4 is 8, and then straight across the bottom, 3 times 7 is 21. And so 8 over 21 is our answer. For the second problem, straight across the top, 5 times 1 is 5. Straight across the bottom, 6 times 4 is 24. Now in both of these situations, the numerator and denominator in our answer cannot be reduced, so that would be our final answer. You do not need to find a common denominator. So the difference in adding and subtracting fractions and multiplying and dividing fractions is when you're multiplying and dividing, you do not need a common denominator. Now, sometimes our fractions are a little bit different, and so let's talk about some other situations. Second, we're going to put a whole number over 1 before we multiply fractions. Then we're going to simplify our answer to a mixed number or a reduced fraction. So in this situation, we have a whole number times a fraction. Anytime this happens, your whole number has to become a fraction in order to multiply. And if I have a whole number 4, the only number I can put it over to not change the value is going to be a 1. So now I'm going to rewrite my problem, 4 over 1 times 3 over 5, and then we're going to go ahead and follow the same step as number 1, multiply straight across the top, 4 times 3 is 12, straight across the bottom, 5 times 1 is 5. Now, we're not finished yet because if you notice in our answer here, 12, our numerator, is greater than 5, our denominator. And you cannot have a numerator bigger than your denominator for your final answer. So now we have to change this to a mixed number by dividing. Anytime we divide a fraction, the top number goes in the box. So I'm going to write it small here. So 5 goes into 12 2 times. 2 times 5 is 10. My remainder is 2. Now I'm not dealing with decimals right now, so I don't want to add a decimal. This is my fraction. So 2 is my whole number because that's how many times the denominator goes into the numerator. My remainder becomes my numerator and my denominator stays the same. So this is how I change my improper fraction to a mixed number. Let's try another problem. Now I have 1/4 times 8. So my 1/4 stays the same. 8 goes over 1. Straight across the top, multiply straight across the bottom. So 8 times 1 is 8. 4 times 1 is 4. Again, I'm going to have to divide. But this time I know that 4 goes into 8 evenly, and it's 2 times. So my answer is 2. Most of the time when you have a whole number times a fraction, you're going to end up having to change your improper answer to a mixed number. For our third step here, if we have mixed numbers to begin with in the problem, we must change those to improper fractions before multiplying top times top and bottom times bottom. So let's try some more examples here. So now I have 3 1/4 times 2/5. So this changing a mixed number to an improper fraction, I'm going to have to work backwards from the last way that we changed an improper fraction to a mixed number. So in this case, we're going to do what we call popcorn. So we go this direction. First we multiply, then we add. So 3 times 4 is 12. 12 plus 1 is 13. So that becomes our numerator, and then 4 stays the denominator. Now I'm going to multiply that times 2/5. So now that both of the numbers in my problem are fractions, I can multiply straight across the top and straight across the bottom. So 13 times 2 is 26. 4 times 5 is 20. Now, once again, my top number, my numerator in my answer is bigger than the denominator. So now I have to divide again. So let's go ahead and do that down here. Remember, when we divide, your top number goes in the box. So 20 goes into 26 one time. I have 6 left over, so 1 is my whole number, 6, my remainder, is the numerator, 20 is my denominator. However, I'm not finished because 6 over 20 can be reduced. So I'm going to reduce that. 1 is going to stay my whole number. If you reduce your fraction, you have to keep your whole number. Now, 6 and 20 are both even, so I'm going to divide by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 20 divided by 2 is 10. I can't reduce it anymore, so my answer is 1 3/10. For our next problem, now we have two mixed numbers. So we have to do popcorn with both of them before we can multiply. So we're multiplying and then adding, multiplying and then adding. 3 times 2 is 6, 6 plus 2 is 8, and our denominator stays the same. 5 times 2 is 10, 10 plus 1 is 11, and our denominator stays the same. So now we can multiply straight across the top and straight across the bottom. I have 88 over 6. So I have two things I need to do. I need to reduce this, and I need to change it back into a mixed number. But let me show you something here before we move on. And I'm going to use this same problem, 8 thirds times 11 halves. Now, before you multiply, you can cross reduce, and this is going to save you time reducing big numbers in the end. So let's go ahead and cross reduce where we can. Anytime you're cross reducing, that means you can only reduce a numerator with a denominator. I can't reduce 8 and 3. I can't reduce 11 and 2. I can't reduce 11 and 3. Those are numerator and denominator, but I can reduce 8, my numerator, and 2, my denominator. So 8 and 2 are both even numbers divisible by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So now I'm multiplying 4 thirds times 11 over 1. This is going to give me 44 over 3. Now, if you look back over here at our original answer before we cross-reduced, if I reduce 88 over 6 by 2, dividing both by 2, I end up with 44 over 3. The reason cross-reducing in the problem saves you time is because you're typically reducing smaller numbers rather than reducing large numbers. Now I still have to divide to change this to a mixed number. So top goes in the box, 3 goes into 4 one time, and I have 14 left over. 3 goes into 14 4 times, which equals 12. Now, 14 is my whole number, 2 is my numerator, that's my remainder, and my denominator stays 3. So 14 and 2 thirds is my answer. If I had gone back to this step and divided 88 by 6, I would have gotten 14 and 4/6. So then I would have had to reduce 4/6 to 2 thirds. So reducing in your problem gives you smaller numbers to work with and saves you from having to reduce later. Let's go ahead and try some practice problems. Okay, so first we have 2/5 times 3/4. We don't have to change anything. It's all fractions, so I'm just going to multiply straight across the top, straight across the bottom. Go ahead and pause the video and try this one on your own. Okay, let's go ahead and check your work. So 2 times 3 on top is 6, 5 times 4 is 20. Now I can go ahead and reduce this. If you reduced in the problem before you multiplied, we'll check that in a second. 6 over 20, they're both even numbers, so I can divide by 2, and that gives me 3/10. Let's say that we reduced in the problem before we multiplied. Well, I can't reduce 2/5, I can't reduce 3/4, I can't reduce 3 and 5, but I can reduce 2 and 4. So 2 and 4 are both divisible by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. I do recommend anytime you're going to reduce in the problem that you rewrite the problem before you multiply, just so you don't multiply by the wrong numbers. 1 times 3 is 3, 5 times 2 is 10, so we end up with the same answer either way. For our next practice problem, go ahead and pause the video and try this one on your own. All right, let's go ahead and try this one together. So this one's a little bit interesting because I can cross reduce before I multiply. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I can reduce 3 and 3. It's the same number, so that equals 1 and 1. I can reduce 2 and 2, which also equals 1 times 1. So now I have 1 over 1 times 1 over 1, which equals 1 whole. Now, if you would have multiplied out the original problem, 3 halves times 2 thirds, you would have ended up with 6 over 6. And if we divide that, 6 goes into 6 one time. I don't have a remainder, so I'm finished. All right, now we have to do popcorn before we get started. Go ahead and pause the video and then try this one on your own first. Okay, let's go ahead and try it together and check your work. So popcorn, we're going to go around from the denominator times the whole number, which is 3, plus the numerator is 5 over 3, times popcorn here. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7 over 3. Now I can't cross reduce anything here, so I'm going to go ahead and just multiply straight across the top, straight across the bottom. So 5 times 7 is 35. 3 times 3 is 9. Now, since I couldn't reduce in the problem, I'm not going to be able to reduce in the answer, but I can't have a final answer where my numerator is bigger than my denominator, so this is where we divide. 9 goes into 35 3 times, which equals 27. I'm going to have 8 left over. So now 8, my remainder is my numerator, and my original denominator stays 9. So my answer is 3 8/9. If you didn't get one of those right, see if you can find your mistake so that you can make sure you don't make the same mistake again later. Let's go ahead and recap the steps. So the first step when multiplying fractions is if it's just 2 fractions, we want to multiply straight across the top, the numerators, and then straight across the bottom, the denominators, and then we're going to simplify or reduce. Second, if I have a whole number in my problem, I'm going to put the whole number over 1 before I can multiply because I need to make it a fraction. Once you put it over 1, you're going to multiply straight across the top, straight across the bottom, then simplify your answer. If your answer is an improper fraction, you're going to have to change it to a mixed number, and you need to reduce. Third, mixed numbers must be changed to improper fractions before we can multiply, top times top and bottom times bottom. Once we do popcorn, we can multiply straight across the top, straight across the bottom, and then you're likely to have to change it back into a mixed number. I hope this video helped you on how to multiply fractions. The actual process is not difficult, but it is a lot of steps to remember that you have to change improper fractions to mixed numbers to have a correct answer, and you also have to change mixed numbers to improper fractions before you can actually multiply. So if you need to watch it a couple more times and practice the examples, go ahead. If you still have questions, be ready to ask me something specific. Thanks for joining me for multiplying fractions. This is Mrs. D signing off. We'll see you for the next video. Bye!